Because none of this really matters.
You ready? You ready, Josh?
Yeah, I'm ready.
This is gonna be a good one. Because we have a lot to talk about.
None of this.
Because we had our topic that we were gonna talk about, and then we had we were gonna talk about trains or train movies, I should say, not just trains. We were going to talk about train movies because of that Brad Pitt movie coming out, the Bullet Train one. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I've seen the trailers. They're like everywhere.
So they're fucking everywhere. It's annoying.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to go see it, but the train movies, that movie looks like it sucks, bro.
Honestly, yeah.
I don't fuck with it, but I've just seen too many advertisements for it.
You've seen the movie already.
That's
Yeah.
probably why they're advertising it so much, because they want people to see it. Because, you know what I mean? Like, because they know like it's gonna be shitty if they don't advertise as much as they do.
But we were like, because there's no other movies out, dude, like coming out for the next month or two.
Yeah.
So we're like trying to come up with things, like reaching for things to talk about. But luckily today, while me and Mender were in the car, we were like, let's talk about this, and this. So for the next few episodes, we have things to talk about, thank God. But this episode, we were going to talk about train movies and like our top 5 train movies.
Yeah.
So we got quite a few for that for us. And then we also had our topic where we were going to talk about like 70s Pacino.
Yep.
And then I actually watched all the Predator movies. Like for the past week, I watched all the Predator movies, and I just watched Prey.
Yeah.
Because that came out yesterday. Mm-hmm. And so I was just going to touch on that. We would talk Predator and shit like that.
Fuck yeah.
So we got quite the slate for today, quite the docket. So this is episode 71. The last time you were on was, I don't know what number, but it was December. It was when Spider-Man came out. No Fucking Way Home.
No Fucking Way Home.
No fucking way home.
That was the name of the...
Yeah, because you guys went together, didn't you?
Yeah, we
All
went to
of
go
us.
see it. Yeah, all of us.
We
At
went.
the IMAX.
I know I'll be high.
It was, me, you, and you brought the Zoe and Roman.
Yes. Okay. You were there. Yes. I was about to say. Okay. I was with you. All right,
Because we went to a morning showing, of course.
I have to.
AZ Mills, biggest IMAX, actually. That's where we watched it. Big ass screen. It was crazy.
Huge.
But that was the last time you were on, and we weren't even here. We were still shooting in the bedroom. That was crazy.
Yeah. You never did the living room.
No. This is my first episode doing it right here.
Yeah.
Damn. There's gonna be some people, because we only had Angelo at the house and my brother and him.
Teddy.
We had Teddy at the house, yes.
Teddy
And that was like, Angelo was the last guest at the house. And that was for the 1 year. And after the 1 year, we came here.
Yep.
Oh, fuck, dude. Because even this room has changed.
Yeah,
since
I
the last.
noticed it. Yeah, just like a lot more stuff.
If you
in
watch
here
the
now.
first episode that we shot in here, blank walls.
Yeah, there was like nothing on the walls.
A
Just
plant. We had
yeah,
one
there was
plant.
the plant. I remember
That was it. We had the ceiling fan or the ceiling light.
Yeah,
So it's great to have you back.
feels good to be back.
You're gonna be like a recurring
Back for good.
Yeah.
back for good. We should say
For good.
Back for good. That's
Dude.
the
Yep.
episode.
back for good. Fuck yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes. Did your time. Did your service like every American.
Every God-fearing,
Every God-fearing
patriotic
American.
American.
You're like fucking Mel Gibson up in here, dude.
Does this bother you now in movies when you see that?
When they salute wrong.
Yeah.
Or you know when they go like that, they do the fucking.
Oh yeah, the weird side shit. I mean, I've seen that shit in the military too. Like
Yeah, they
people
do,
do
yeah.
some like weird fuck.
Like A Few Good Men when they go.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what should we start on first? Train movies?
Yeah.
Just to knock it out the way?
We just watch train movies a day
It's fresh.
at the same time.
I have I made a list actually. Thank God, because I watched quite a bit. So train
James
movies.
Gandolfini in Unstoppable. Was that
He
not
is.
his voice?
He's the mayor, or he's the governor.
That's Taken. That's Taken.
Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That's James Gandolfini.
That's James Gandolfini. Because I thought I heard his voice, and I was like, bro, if Denzel Washington and James Gandolfini are in Unstoppable together, that would be hilarious. As another
Just
train
another
movie.
train movie with
Yeah.
Denzel. and James-
Right, yeah.
But because those two movies really, because when you think about it, Menda, we had almost every Tony Scott movie on DVD. Like unintentionally, we had every Tony Scott movie. We had Domino, Deja Vu. We had Man on Fire. We had.
When you started naming that, I think maybe probably every household had every.
Had to have.
I had no idea who Tony Scott was. And I was like, dude, we had every single one of those movies in my house. And it was Pelham 1, 2, 3 was especially they. Yeah. You can tell that I knew it was Tony Scott at the very beginning because of the way the intro is. I said, now I get it. He has like a signature intro, like the flashing intro with like the. It's like the exposure is. The exposure is where he does that weird thing. Yeah. Like he does that. I was like, oh, okay, I see it now.
If there was no Tony Scott, there would be no Michael Bay.
Because that's the intro to Bad Boys. That's where he got it from.
That's a bold. That's not that bold. I feel like
not that bold at all.
So for Josh, just saying Tony Scott's run was Top Gun. We were watching Beverly Hills Cop 2 today. Mm-hmm. Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder. That movie's the shit.
He did The Last Boy Scout with Damon Wayans and Bruce Willis. Mm-hmm. He did True Romance, written by Quentin Tarantino. Crimson Tide, which I think that's probably his best movie.
Crimson Tide is so slept on. That's Sean Connery, right?
Gene Hackman.
I'm thinking about The Rock.
Red October.
In Red October. I'm thinking about all of those.
All the same. Yeah, they're all within the same.
Where my brain was going.
We had The Fan on DVD with Robert De Niro and Wesley Snipes. Yep. He did Enemy of the State with Will Smith and Gene Hackman. Spy Game with Robert Redford and Brad Pitt. He did Man on Fire, Domino, Deja Vu, Taken in Pelham 1, 2, 3, and Unstoppable. Unstoppable being his last movie. Mm-hmm. And I think we should do a movie. I think I said this before, but we should do a movie where it's like best last movies of a director. That would be a cool one. I think that
sounds pretty dope.
Yeah, an episode.
Yeah, he was like, "Let's do a movie." I was like, "Damn."
We should do a best like top 5 last movies of a director's filmography. Unstoppable is probably I just want to talk about Unstoppable all the time because Tony Scott, after he made Unstoppable, I want to say right after he killed himself. R.I.P. Yeah.
Rest in peace, man.
He jumped off a bridge, and then actually Ridley Scott's brother, I mentioned before. And
did they have a production company? Was that theirs together, Scott Free?
I want to say it is. I'm pretty sure it is because Ridley Scott helped Tony Scott make his first movie, which was The Hunger with David Bowie. And because Ridley Scott has been making movies since, I think his first movie was 1977, I want to say.
Damn, I didn't know he was that old.
And then, yeah, dude, he's old.
So he did Aliens?
He just did Alien.
Oh, he just did Alien. But I mean, even still, he was been what at the time? No, that's not that bad. That's like 2 years.
That must have been like 30, 40?
Yeah. That's a good movie for an older guy like that.
For about 40 years old, I'd say he did Alien. Because Alien was 80 or 79.
79, I just found that out. 70s,
and then...
that's way ahead of his time, isn't it? To be at 79?
Dude...
Like,
that changed. Alien changed sci-fi, dude.
Yeah, it's literally like
he made 2 movies that changed sci-fi. Was Alien and Blade Runner.
Yes,
that movie was like a pioneer for like that kind of genre of sci-fi.
Yeah, making movies about aliens.
And like space. Yeah, space.
In the
movies.
Space part, he added a whole nother element. It was
a whole thing.
Whole nother element of fear.
And Alien, and especially because I think it's the best horror movie too. Because in Alien. You don't see the alien like until the last 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. Like and you're terrified the whole time, which is genius. Mm-hmm. But Alien, and then I want to say right after he made Alien, he made Blade Runner, which is
the fucking game.
It's crazy. I had the score right there. It might be behind that album. Mm-hmm. I have the VHS right there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Blade Runner. One of the best sci-fi movies ever. But yeah, shout out to the Scott brothers. Unstoppable. Yeah. I'm just going to say right now, that's my number 1 train movie.
Fair.
Is it? Did I put that in my list? I made a list of my train movies. Oh, no, it's not my number 1. It should be, though. I'm going to change it.
I don't know about... I'll watch both. I watched the last half. But go ahead. I'm gonna let you
but yeah, train movies... Do you want to start at number? You say you're 5 if you have 5. unless you have like 3.
I got like 3.
Because I'm just gonna run through mine just real quick.
I can't say that they're in any order. I just know Unstoppable, Taking Up Pelham 1, 2, 3, and Train to Busan are my 3 hands down favorite train movies. Watching 1, 2, 3 today, I forgot the ending, and I love forgetting the ending. And I was like,
You're like, how does this end again?
I told her, man, I was like, I almost cried twice watching Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's a crazy because you see like Travolta's character is like, he's like trying to work with him, and he's like almost the good guy.
That's what it was.
Because you find out
he was just like pulling back the layers. He's like, tell me the truth, dude.
Yeah, and then Gandolfini, great supporting.
Mm-hmm. Everybody was super smart in that movie. Gandolfini included when he figured out the stockbroker thing. Yeah, I was like, oh, that was smart. That was genius. That was really good.
And then, but yeah, Pelham 1, 2, 3. I had the original in my list too, but I think I took it out. But my top 5, I put Silver Streak with Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor, the 70s comedy. That was like one of the earliest movies I remember seeing ever, like on HBO or some shit. And then I just think that movie's hilarious. Which, you remember that idea I told you for the movie?
Yeah.
I got it from Silver Streak. I just ripped it off. And so
now I gotta see it.
because I think I mentioned on the podcast last week that I'm in a production with 2 of my friends, and Josh is obviously one of them. And we were trying to figure out how to set everything up. Yeah, it's sick. And so
pretty sick.
I watched Silver Streak, and I was like, the way the opening scene has to go for the movie we're making. Yeah, Silver Streak is a huge influence for what we're about to do. Yeah. So and I just watched it for the first time in forever, and I watched it, but yeah, I'll show you later. But Silver Streak is hilarious. I think Gene Wilder is one of the funniest people ever. He's played the original Willy Wonka.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about then.
Yeah, and Richard Pryor, obviously, he's like he's in a supporting role.
That was their golden years. Them 2 worked together.
Yeah, what's it called? The Hear No Evil, See No Evil. I seen that once on TV, and I think it was playing on Comedy Central at like midnight. And
People talk about that movie.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Gene Wilder movies on Comedy Central. That's like the main place I watched a lot of old 70s comedies. And even 90s comedies, like that one, the Road to Wellville movie with, what's his name, John Cusack and shit. There's like a lot of deep cut movies that play in the middle of the night on Comedy Central.
Yeah. And that let you know that John Cusack, you would think that Hot Tub Time Machine was like his first.
No, he's been around, dude.
Like his first comedic, like when he was funny. Yeah, I never saw him funny before that. So that's crazy to hear. Yeah, that's crazy to hear he was in a comedy. Like
a long time ago. Yeah. And then my number 4 is called Terror Train. It's a horror movie that came out in 1980, directed by Roger Spottiswoode. I have no idea who that is. But it's basically a movie about a bunch of college students that are in a fraternity. They're a big, or it just says 6 college kids. It's this kid is basically, it's kind of ahead of its time in a way, because it's about all of the college kids play a prank on this nerd basically, and the nerd is like getting revenge on the college kids. Yeah. And so he's basically like killing people on the train because everybody is like heading back home or whatever. Yeah. And so it's a pretty crazy story, and like it's on Halloween.
The nerd is killing
all the college kids. Yeah.
And do they know like they're getting hunted by this nerd?
They're like picking up on it, or because the main character is Jamie Lee Curtis.
Nice. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's her second movie. I think because Halloween was her first movie, obviously. Yeah. And Jamie Lee Curtis is the main character because she's it's the beginning of her career. She's known as the scream queen, basically, of like that. Because there's like a couple now, like that one girl from Euphoria, I don't know her, Mia Goth, I think her name is. She was in that movie X, and she's like becoming the new like modern day scream queen. But back in late 70s, early 80s, it was Jamie Lee Curtis
because of Halloween. Shit.
Yeah, that basically redid.
The girl with no eyebrows.
Yeah, she's gonna be in that movie Pearl too, later.
Oh, so are you saying she's like that? She's the new
the
spring
horror,
queen.
yeah.
Okay, I thought it would have
Who
been.
is she? I can't really like picture him. Like,
Honestly, I never.
She's a girl.
Yeah,
I never watched Euphoria. Right there.
I don't think I've ever seen that girl.
You said she's a Euphoria.
She's in Euphoria,
and
but
she's in
I haven't
X,
seen
like
Euphoria.
said.
That's
me
why.
either.
Yeah.
I don't like that show. I tried it, bro. But anyways,
She's a brick.
but anyways, yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis was in the movie. I never seen it before. It's on Shudder.
Yeah.
And I fucking love Shudder.
Shudder's awesome, by the way.
And so I just literally went on Shudder and typed in train. And I saw Terror Train. And then fucking the whole fucking Train to Busan was the first one to come up.
Of course.
But then I saw Terror Train. I was like, I never seen that before. And then I put through it on. It's an hour and a half. And I was like, oh shit, this was actually fucking solid horror movie. And it was really good. Cause the 70s is like the golden year. We were talking about this
it's like the golden
a week or two
era
ago.
for like
The golden era for horror, dude.
for horror, yeah, because that's like pretty much like it didn't start, but like that whole era, like John Carpenter, like
the
he
Toby
created,
Hooper, like
exactly.
Texas Chainsaw.
It all started in the 70s, so like that was
Because
like,
before Texas
decade.
Chainsaw and especially before Halloween, there was no movie like Halloween.
Texas Chainsaw was before Halloween, though, right? Yeah, but it was like super, like it wasn't super underground, but like not a lot of people knew about it. You know what I mean? It wasn't. It didn't pop off like Halloween did.
I remember Nate told us there was a concerted effort against that movie. That's probably why it didn't pop off.
Yeah.
So like, wasn't it rated X? When the first cut of it was like,
Yeah, because it was too gory. I'm sure.
Too gory back then.
because Halloween, it wasn't even cool to like Halloween back then. Like you it wasn't, because that's why it's like a cult classic. Is because no one liked. It's the same thing with Blade Runner. Like no one, it wasn't even like no one liked Blade Runner when it came out, or no one liked Halloween. They were like, what the fuck is this? But then obviously 10 years later, everybody is like, it's kind of like Unstoppable.
Yeah.
No one fucked with Unstoppable for real until like 10 years later. You know, it's gaining this like revolution basically. So Halloween, before Halloween, there was no movie like that.
No,
And
it really wasn't.
And so that's why Halloween, I think, is the greatest horror movie ever. It really changed the game.
Because with the impact that had on like other fucking horror movies, like
There's
there's nothing as great as
so
Halloween.
so many ripoffs of like
so many ripoffs. Like
so many sequels that you're honestly like, shit ain't terrible.
it created the slasher era. Like like
the
it created
80s slashers is purely because of Halloween.
Halloween started, you know what I mean, like Friday the 13th, fucking Nightmare
Freddy
on Elm
Krueger,
Street, all that shit, Chucky, you know what I mean, like
all of it.
motherfuckers running around with knives and blades and shit.
The 80s was like
80s was like coked out horror, like we need kill, like
Yeah, they wanted more gore.
yeah.
exactly. So the 70s like started up and they were like
70s was
more.
70s
Like, what the
was
fuck
big
is this? Yeah.
because the reason why 70s is the golden era, like because we were talking about it like a week or two ago, of how much like all these movies that are like we need to watch this and this, because I showed you Black Christmas was one of them, and then all these 70s ones were all independent movies. Like Toby Hooper made Texas Chainsaw Massacre like by himself, and then people were, and so did Halloween with John Carpenter. He was like, it was with the studio, but the studio was like, hey, we kind of need you to make another movie, and John Carpenter was like, I have an idea for this and this, I can make it for like $2 million. And they were like, really? And he was like, yeah. And so he made it like by himself, and because the studios didn't give a fuck, they were like, go, please, just do whatever you want. And then John Carpenter, because before Halloween, John Carpenter had like 2 movies that were like he had Assault on Precinct 13, which was like a solid movie. It was good. And then he had like a student film that was like a sci-fi movie that was like co-directed with somebody else. But Halloween was like his first real movie that was his. And then he made it, and then it didn't blow up at first, but people saw how successful it was. And then that's why in the 80s there was such a huge renaissance of slasher films, because people are seeing how successful independent horror films were, and they were like, fuck it, we need to start making horror films now that are like Halloween and like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
You know what I'm curious about is like when Halloween came out, like did it even go straight to theaters? Like what happened?
I think it was like a direct to TV movie and like VHS, direct to VHS. And then I think that's how it kind of like got out. I think you had to like know somebody that saw it, kind of thing. And then because it was the same thing with like Reservoir Dogs, even in the early 90s. Like that wasn't a big movie until like a year later, a year after Reservoir Dogs came out. And but yeah, I need some fucking water. I'm talking a lot.
Didn't they say that it hit in Europe first, like in the UK, and then
Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was very reminiscent of like the Giallo movies that came out, like the Suspiria.
Yeah.
And Inferno and all the shit like that. All the Italian horror movies that were fucking huge there.
Yeah, that's right. Like Italian horror was like they were doing it. Were they doing it before?
Way
Carpenter?
before, yeah. Or not way before, but like kind of during. It was just really popular in Italy, but here it was like
it's just not normal.
Yeah, there was
like,
a lot of a new, like, because the 70s was a lot of new Hollywood where everyone was coming in. Where like in 1969 when not 69 but when that movie Cleopatra came out and like all the studios went bankrupt.
That was 1970.
That was like late 60s, like
70 or 69, something like that.
And then all the studios were like, we don't know what to do, so they just gave these random filmmakers, like not random but young filmmakers, money to do whatever they wanted. So they gave, that's why the new Hollywood people like George Lucas, Scorsese. Coppola, all these people got the chance because production companies didn't know what to do. So you got all these young people getting these opportunities,
and they were cheap.
They made cheap ass movies.
They're all like, dude, I only need like
Spielberg too.
Spielberg,
made, I need 10 grand. You're like, all right, dude.
That's all you fucking need. Because like Coppola making The Godfather by himself is like, how the fuck?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
To do a film like that all by yourself. Like,
and just be like, can I get Brando? And they're like, yeah, fucking try. And then so like just getting all these people hooking up with friends, you know, like De Niro working with Brian De Palma and then going to Scorsese and then going to Coppola. It's just like everybody's just friends working together.
Yeah,
and it's like
it was all connected. Yeah.
Yeah, and then George Lucas spent like forever. Is that Junebug?
And George Lucas, he worked with Spielberg a lot.
George Lucas and Spielberg,
on films,
like heavy. They wrote films together a lot. They came up with Indiana Jones together.
Yeah, Indiana Jones.
The Star Wars. They did Star Wars together.
They did, huh?
And because George Lucas, there's this docu-series on Disney Plus. I forgot what it was called, but it's on Disney. It's new, and it's about like the VFX. And the first episode is about like the making of Star Wars, basically.
Yeah.
And how it's like basically George Lucas being like, hey, do you know this guy? Do you know this guy? Just people, just friends who know each other, who want to do this shit for free. Yeah. And they're just making a movie together. And so basically it's like, hey, George Lucas got a budget to make this sci-fi, saga, this like space opera epic. Yeah. Like, do you want to come help? And they just rented a warehouse and did everything in the warehouse.
That's so fucking awesome.
And it's just like just kids doing this shit by themselves, dude. And then like Coppola doing it by himself, Brian De Palma making like Carrie and shit like that, and that movie like Sisters, and eventually making Scarface. And then Scorsese being Scorsese, and then Coppola doing Godfather 1 and 2 in the 70s, and then he made like The Conversation with Gene Hackman, and then he did Apocalypse Now in 78, I want to say.
Yeah, it was like 78, 79.
And then, or was that, can you look up? I want to say it was 78, but
pretty sure it was.
Apocalypse Now in 78, and then who am I missing? Scorsese, De Palma, George Lucas. He made American Graffiti, and then he made this one side. 79.
Yeah, I knew it. It was like somewhere around that list.
And then yeah, it's just everybody. That was kind of what happened. Was all these young filmmakers were coming out with their own thing. Like Scorsese made like Mean Streets, and then he was just. I think Scorsese was the most experimental out of all of them. Because he was doing weird movies in the 70s. If you really look, like Taxi Driver was a weird movie.
Taxi Driver, Mean Streets.
And then he made like The Last Waltz. He made like New York. Like he was making these weird musicals. And like he was just kind of doing his own thing until he made Raging Bull.
Yeah, Raging Bull.
And Raging Bull was kind of like the next era, I feel like, of Scorsese, like right after.
Raging Bull was like the 80s, yeah?
I think that was 80, like 1980.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just Scorsese, yeah, that whole new Hollywood, that whole wave of like those filmmakers. But then under that, like the underbelly of that is John Carpenter, Tobe Hooper, and these independent 70s horror that were like, it's cool to watch those movies, especially like as people like us, because you see these, like, it's basically showing you how to make a horror movie for nothing, for like shooting on location, finding a random barn and shooting in it, and finding random, you know, patios and shit just to shoot on them. And like, you know, that being inspired by like those French New Wave movies from the 60s, and then being like, oh, that's how you make a movie for fucking no money, basically.
Yeah, low budget.
And just that, you know, the inspiration from France and from Italy coming all the way to America is like insane. And there's people, because of Scorsese and Coppola, bringing that European influence all the way to America.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
So
how like all that shit like started.
And then
super interesting.
Yeah. And then how did we get here? Horror. We were talking about
horror.
Fuck. Train movie. Let's go back to train movies.
Back to train.
I was like, this was the plan. So yeah, keep it going. The horror.
And then, the Terror Train. That's the movie I watched. Exactly. Okay, so we're back.
You got on Shudder and how much you love Shudder.
Yeah, Shudder
is great though.
Shudder is amazing. We need that.
Shudder is the shit.
We need that sponsorship. And then I watched my number 3 train movies is it's called The Train. Came out in 1964, directed by John Frankenheimer, and it's a sick World War II movie. Like, it's like, if you watch The Train, you'll be like, Quentin Tarantino watched this for Inglourious Bastards. Like, it has that like man on a mission, you know, vibe to it. It's just like very like, oh shit, we're in World War II, we're doing this, defeat the Nazis, fuck yeah. Like, it was sick. Like and then like the whole opening sequence, like you see like the Nazis are the bad guys, and like and it's interesting because the story is that there's a train full of like art that the Nazis were stealing during World War II, which is based on a true story.
Yeah, that actually happened.
And they like went into Paris and took all like the Picassos, like all of these rare, valuable, like almost like invaluable art, and like priceless art. And then they put it all on a train. They're like, we need this sent to fucking Germany, but Paris is the only safe place for the art because they're gonna take care of it. And those guys, and basically a woman is like, we need you to like stop this train because we need to protect the art. It's a great movie to show the importance of art in the world. And there's a lot of underlying meaning to it, and like the importance of film in the world and society and how much they impact people every single day. But this movie, The Train, is amazing. It's great. It's fucking intense. There's like the first part where the Nazis are like catching on, where they're trying to sabotage the train and like stop it. And there's a crazy part where like this old guy who gets caught trying to stop the train, and they just fucking execute him right there. It's a sick movie.
Sounds badass. Just listening to you talk about it, man.
It's sick. Trust me. Like,
and
it's
plus, like I'm a fucking huge fan on war movies.
Dude,
bro.
it's
like
America. If you love America, you're gonna be like, this movie is sick. Fuck Germany, bro.
Fuck the Nazis. Fuck Germany.
Yeah, fuck Nazi Germany. But yeah, Nazi occupied Paris. Like, it's just World War II. And like I said, Inglourious Bastards, like, you wouldn't have Inglourious Bastards if this movie and like the Dirty Dozen didn't exist and shit like that.
Dirty Dozen. It sounds similar to that too.
Yeah, like Dirty Dozen.
Yeah.
And then so that's The Train, directed by John Frankenheimer, which John Frankenheimer also made this movie called Seconds. That's a very trippy movie. It's like almost like, it's very psychedelic actually.
And it's a train movie.
No.
Oh, that's just like
different movie. Right. Same director though, same director.
Yeah.
And he made this movie called Seconds, and it's fucking great. And he also made the original Manchurian Candidate, just a BT dubs. And he made Grand Prix, which was a big influence on that movie Ford vs Ferrari. Have you seen Ford vs Ferrari? That's a sick movie, dude.
It has Christian Bale, right?
Yeah, and Matt Damon. Bro, you won't regret it. It's a perfect movie. And it's pretty fucking crazy. The sound design in that movie, in Ford vs Ferrari, when you hear those engines, is
Awesome.
It's crazy. It's
Hell
crazy. I think it won an Oscar for best sound design, if I'm not mistaken. Ford versus Ferrari. Anyways, yeah. John Frankenheimer's The Train. Great World War II train movie. It's fucking sick. Like, look at that still.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
He's holding like an MP40.
Yeah, the MP40's lighting some
Look at
Nazis up. And fucking somewhere in
It's
like
badass. It's a
war
badass
zone.
movie, dude.
Yeah. I gotta watch it now.
So my number 2 is Unstoppable with Denzel and Chris Pine. And that fucking movie, have you seen it?
No,
Unstoppable?
I don't think I have.
With Denzel, it's about the train that's unstoppable. And it's like headed towards,
It's an older film.
it's 2010.
20. Oh, it's
Probably
not
the
that old.
best. I put in my notes, I was like, this is the best action movie of the decade, like of
Yeah.
2010. Because Unstoppable,
You know, I'm sure I've seen it, but I just probably forgot.
yeah.
You know, probably only saw, like, one time on TV
is it
or
on
some shit.
streaming? Hulu?
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Yeah,
I'll
if you
check
got
it out.
Hulu,
Mm-hmm.
it's worth the watch. It's a great, intense action movie. And yeah, we show it love all the time on this podcast because
Because it's slept on. You, like you said, a lot of people
Yeah.
never heard of it.
based on a true story.
When the man told me that, I was like, oh, those guys are retards.
Oh yeah, it's the main guy who fucked up in the first place. They were like, he's working fast food now
Good.
because you're.
Hmm. But it's also what I love about it is that it's like a real. I didn't know it was based on a true story until you told me, but it's like a realistic. In the movie, it's a realistic fuck up.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, like a fat guy, because it's hard to catch up with the train in general.
Yeah.
That's why. That's what the part I told her. I was like, that is just. First of all, I know that they had rules. They're like,
Oh yeah.
don't fucking
Yeah.
get out.
And
of
that's
the
why
moving
TJ,
train.
even
It's the
TJ
first
Miller,
rule.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do that.
even
And there's people
TJ
that try to
Miller's-
get out. Wait, there's people that try to get out like in the
Oh,
movie.
that's how the beginning of
the
that's how
beginning of the movie. That's
yeah.
how it gets lost. No one's on the train,
Yeah.
and so
It's a cargo train with hazmat.
yeah, it's like Chernobyl type shit on it. And then then TJ Miller is like, don't fucking get off the train, you dumbass. Like, don't do it. And then he's like, I got it. And he gets off and fucking doesn't got it. And
It's like,
Ow.
I hate, I always say this, like the military taught me like that safety shit.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what, like the dude who's walking around the plane, like, no, I've done this 52,000
yeah, the dude's like,
times.
I got it, bro.
And then he walks into a propeller because you're just so used to like, that dude probably did that more often than
yeah,
not. Like,
he's
jump
yeah.
out
it's probably
the
a
train.
common thing.
Yeah, he probably did it all the
Like,
time.
let me switch the track and hop back on the train. Like, no.
They tell you every time you can do something wrong all the time if you want. That one time
You
that
could.
you fuck up,
Now,
that
just
you get
make sure
caught,
you don't fuck up. If you're gonna do something the wrong way, don't fuck up.
That's the number one rule.
Exactly.
Right. It
Yeah.
just started off completely.
You're like, these fucking dumbasses.
You're so stupid.
And that's
so
what
stupid.
like the nails in the chalkboard. It's like.
And then everybody like giving them a hard time, like in the movie, is like worth. It's like,
It's so worth. It's so satisfying.
yeah, you're like,
hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, dumbasses?
And so yeah, not taking Pelham 1, 2, 3. Unstoppable is super great. I thought the duo of Denzel and Chris Pine is like perfect. I feel like that was supposed to be like a passing of the torch of like Chris Pine is supposed to be this because he was doing Star Trek and he's supposed to be this next guy up, but now he's not really doing a lot. He hasn't been doing much.
I think he's kind of. I looked that up. Why they was like he's not really a Hollywood.
Yeah, he doesn't really want that to be because he was set up for it.
He was probably like, dude, this is way too.
Yeah.
much. Like it was because it was like meteoric. It was like, woo.
Yeah, he was fucking because he
did the
was
shit
because he was doing the rom-coms
Yeah,
before
yeah.
and then going straight up to the fucking action movie. He was gonna be the next Tom Cruise.
Yeah, you're
basically.
funny and you're handsome.
Yeah.
Like, and he was in Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Like, once the Wonder Woman happened, that was supposed to be like,
fucking.
he's supposed to, like, you were supposed to.
You're gonna be in a Marvel movie. You're gonna get your own Marvel movie.
Exactly.
But
Post Wonder Woman, it was like
now I think he just became more selective in the movies he's making.
an artist. Now he's rich. He's already rich. So
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
he's like, I'm rich enough. I don't
Yeah.
need $100 million.
So yeah, Unstoppable, my favorite action movie of the 2010s. I'd say top 5 because it's up there with John Wick, like for sure. Like it's intense as fuck. Like
Yeah.
you're
I was like on the edge
You're locked in the entire movie, and I don't think there's a lot of movies nowadays that do that. I think it was really ahead of its time. But yeah, Unstoppable. I think it's fucking sick. And then my number one is Snowpiercer. My number one.
That's the one I told you to watch.
Yeah.
Menda, you haven't seen Snowpiercer? I think
That's like 3 genres in one.
Snowpiercer's fucking crazy, Menda. Fucking crazy.
Chris Evans said, "I'm Captain
I was about to
America."
say, Chris Evans is in that movie.
Yeah.
I'm Captain America and a baby eater. All right.
Trust me, dude. Snowpiercer is worth the watch. Like, one of the best movies ever, like, of the 2010s.
So is he a cannibal?
No,
Said he's a baby
It's
eater.
like,
That's all. I just wanted to say that just so people would be like, "What?" I want you to go watch the movie.
yeah, I'll add to that there's a part in the movie which is probably one of my. There's a couple favorite parts in like the first 30 minutes.
The arm.
Mm-hmm.
The arm. So,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Now y'all know the FOMO's making you like, "Fuck, I want to go watch it."
I'll just say the arm.
The arm. That's all you gotta say.
But I'll describe in detail something that happens before that, where the people in the front of the train go to the back and they're like, "We need a violin player," and they go to the couple, the old couple, and then they get the guy. They're like, "Hey, you come here. We want you to play the violin up front." And they're like, and the guy's like, "But my wife plays it so much better than me." He's like, "Take my wife to go to the front." And then they end up taking him, and he like runs back or some shit, and he like pushes his wife forward, and then the security guards, whatever, throw the wife on the ground and smash her hands, and then they're like, come up, tell the guy like, let's go up front.
Damn.
Those movies like that, I never hate the rich people. I hate their underlings more than I hate the rich people. Because they're like, I'm like, oh, fuck. You gotta watch the movie.
And it's all this. That's what the movie's about. It's class.
Yeah.
And oh my,
It's a literal like.
and it's so clever
Yeah,
the
'cause
way they do
The
things.
class system is literally built into the train. So like the further you go to the front,
The better it gets.
Yeah.
And just the slow, just like Parasite, same director. Just like
oh yeah, you did tell me that.
This is one of his few American movies.
Yes.
And because he also did Okja, the Netflix movie. But Snowpiercer is just, it's like Parasite in the way where it just keeps unfolding. Like more and more details about the story and just adding things. It's just like, it's such a clever movie.
You'll never figure it out either. Like a lot of movies, this movie, you're like,
this might be how it ends, but like you'll even see the first 10 minutes and you'll be like, not even expect what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes.
The thing that actually...
And the whole theory, where there's a theory that it's a.
But if you say that, that's gonna give away.
Okay.
How the train moves. Remember how the train moves? Yeah.
Yeah. No. Never mind, guys.
Yeah. Go watch Snowpiercer.
I gotta watch
Yeah,
it.
don't spoil it.
Even though we've been spoiling movies
All
literally
the time. No, but Snowpiercer is like worth.
last
yeah,
2
that's
months
the
we've been
one
talking
you
about.
can't.
You gotta watch Snowpiercer. It's perfect, dude. It's so great. It's the best. It is the best train movie.
It's on Netflix, isn't it? I think I've seen it.
It
on
used to
I think
be.
it's a Netflix movie, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, it is a Netflix movie.
No,
yeah.
it used to be on Netflix though. I know what you're talking about.
Oh.
But I
It
think,
just had the color scheme of it.
and also the color grading of the movie. Everything's all gray, but then like when the first time you see Tilda Swinton come in, she's wearing the yellow dress, and it's just so bright, and you're like, damn, there's an extreme difference, like
Hunger Games.
kind of like that. But it's a great movie. It's so great. But yeah, those are my top five train movies. Is Silver Streak, Terror Train, The Train, Unstoppable, and Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer is just cool because the more like the movie has to happen that way. They're like the beginning of the movie, they tell you this train can't stop moving.
Yeah.
Like that's the it's like we
Because there's like a part where like Chris Evans says to a little kid, he is like, "I'll get you anything you want," and the kid's like, "Anything in the whole wide train." And so that's like the world.
their world.
Oh,
Because there's
wow.
kids born on that train. There's actually they tell you in the movie. I think there's like 2 or 3 generations that might have gone through that train because they've been on there for like
it's
100 years or something like that.
something like that. And there's I don't want to give away anything. Fuck.
Because they tell you that's the movie. The movie
because there's like
is
things that
climate change.
Yeah, there's things that we use all the time. They're like that went extinct like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because it's 2031. It says.
Oh
yeah.
shit.
And
Yeah.
they said what happened was that there's planes that were trying to reverse the planet heating up.
Yeah.
So they put these they chemtrailed it, and they said that the particles were supposed to reflect the sunlight back at the sun, like reflected.
Yeah,
back
it was
into the
basically like a
atmosphere.
global warming like savior, but it went wrong.
Too well. That's what they like. It worked too good, and it dropped the planet temperature to like negative
something,
like negative 70 across the planet, except for like one part.
So it like put the Earth into like another ice age.
Oh yeah,
basically
that's the main point.
And so they're just on this
see.
train that just
like
never
revolves
stops.
around Earth.
Yeah,
if the train stops, I think they'll freeze to death. Like the whole train will just
that has to keep moving.
freeze over, and that's it.
Oh, I see.
So it's a great movie. Great movie, dude.
I'll check it out.
And so yeah, those are my top 5.
Yeah. Did you say Pelham?
No, it actually wasn't in my top 5, but it was in my honorable mentions though.
Yeah, Pelham is really
Both of them, the original and the new one.
Recency bias. It was just, but when he was like, "Why'd you take the $30,000?" I was like,
Unstoppable is also great. I just want to go back to Unstoppable is also great because it's the last time I watched it, I picked up that it's about like these young guys, like in the beginning of the movie, these young guys coming in to take these old guys' jobs. It's like a very economic statement on what's going on in the world. I thought that was great.
He said, "Or I'll fire you." He was like, "You did 72 days ago." I was like, "Bar, stick it to the man." Fuck you,
Yeah,
sir.
it's a very age.
Because he had like 2 years left to retirement. And they were like, like the military getting you to 19, they'd be like, "Nah, dude, we're gonna med discharge you. See you later." Like that's the same thing. It's like, what the fuck?
It's a great movie about the ageism in the working class. About like how these young guys are gonna do a better job or do their job better and faster and quicker.
But they're not.
Such is life.
That was like.
It's kind of out with the old.
Yeah, why Denzel was like, nah. Like, I know this. Like, don't ask me how I know this. I know this.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you how I know because I've been doing this for 20 years. I don't know how I know this.
Yeah.
I've just been doing
Like-
it every day.
like-
At the point where like you can't even teach it, like you don't know what to teach.
Yes,
You're just
exactly.
second
I'm not a
nature.
trainer. I've just been doing this. I know what the fuck. I know this shit
Like how
like the
he
back
had
of
like
my hand.
extra containers
Mm-hmm.
on his line. He's like, I know that. He's like, because I can count how many are past this.
Yeah, he's like a train fucking back of his hand kind of thing.
He did the same thing in Pelham 1, 2, 3. He was like the ultimate dispatcher. He was like, tell him do this, tell him take this, tell NQ
Yeah,
this,
and
then
so
do
they
that.
like demoted him, and they were like, "You're on the fucking, you're the what's it? I don't know."
He was that's what his demotion was with the train dispatcher.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was a like assistant director of transportation.
Yeah, he was like the conductor. He was like a master conductor or whatever.
essentially, yeah.
And then, but when they demoted him to dispatcher, he knew where every single tunnel was and everything like that. That's the difference. I think that's the difference is that Unstoppable is more of a train movie, like a train, but like Pelham 1, 2, 3 is like more of a subway movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hostage, yeah. Because they don't move.
They don't move. It's
Most of
just
the time.
in a subway in a tunnel.
They actually don't. I might not actually say, I was like, yeah, they actually don't move until like the last 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
With Unstoppable, they had like the police out there and fire department and everything, like city evacuation.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
Because a train derailed not too long ago somewhere in America. But it like fucked up a town. It was like it blew up. It was like a 60-car train derailment. It was bad.
Damn.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
it was really bad.
That's
They
crazy.
had to like evacuate people for like, cause hazmat. The trains actually do move a lot of stuff. Like
Oh yeah.
even the military still uses trains for things.
Yeah.
Yeah, like things they don't trust in the air.
Yes, exactly. Or it's just something that's just cheaper or quicker or
Yeah.
whatever it have.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's like cheaper.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we can move on to a different. That's the train movies for Bullet Train. I don't even know if I want to watch that movie, to be honest. I just wanted it to be topical. Probably not. I'll wait till streaming.
Yeah.
I think I said that last week. I'll wait till streaming.
I kind of want to have to see it because I just want to know if it sucks or not.
Yeah.
I haven't
Probably
heard.
that too.
I haven't heard any reviews. So it's like I don't know. Maybe it's like a select few might like it. It'll be like maybe it'll be like Unstoppable, or like 10 years from now, people will be like, Bullet Train was actually great.
Yeah. I can see that. A train movie is a hard thing to pull off. Mm-hmm. Because you gotta be a really good director.
Yeah, you gotta know how to fucking... Yeah.
Because like the setting's just like...
One set...
it's
one setting
bound
movie.
to that fucking train.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like watch Buried with Ryan Reynolds.
I refuse to watch that movie. Because that is my third worst nightmare.
Buried is...
It's a crazy
amazing, dude. Buried is...
I remember you used to talk about that movie so much when we were younger too.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Because Buried, especially at the end, I'm gonna spoil it. Dude, the ending when he is on the phone.
Yeah.
And he's like, "We almost got you." And they're like burning, and like the sand is just fucking piling in. He's about to suffocate
him.
And he's like, "We almost got you. We're at the fucking we hit the fucking box or whatever."
Yeah.
And they're like, "We're so sorry. We're at the wrong location." They're at the wrong fucking spot.
And he dies,
And
right?
he dies at the end.
Fucking dies.
Damn.
Crazy.
Who buried him?
It like gets to like your adrenaline
Terrorists,
pumping.
because he was a truck driver, and they blew up his truck, and they captured him, and then they buried him underground
He was a truck driver
for
overseas?
the military. Yeah,
Civilian truck driver in Iraq.
yeah.
That's fucked.
That's wild. Then they just buried him alive?
Yeah,
That's just mean.
with a
That's
cell
barbaric,
phone.
bro.
Yeah, that's
barbaric.
Just chop my head
barbaric.
off.
Exactly.
Just chop my fucking head off, dude. I'm okay with that. Burying me?
Yeah, that's different.
Then
But-
you gave me a phone? What?
And then like the whole the lighter fluid goes out at the end of the movie, and then the phone battery is dying, and the sand is piling in, and then at one time he falls asleep, but then he wakes up and there's a snake in there. They put like a snake in the box or some shit. It's crazy, dude. That movie is insane.
He went to sleep?
Yeah, he fell asleep. I mean, he had to.
I'm just saying, that's like, I've never thought about that. Like, what if you fall asleep and you're waking and you're like, fuck, I'm still in the box.
There's just there's just
Like, you just
fucking piece of
remember,
wood
like,
right there.
Then you
in front
start,
of your
like-
Or
face.
like you almost forget.
Yes. And you start like freaking out and you're like, what the?
You can't move. Oh god. Yeah, that'd make me go insane.
But yeah, one person, literally like almost no location, and fucking, you just have voice actors for the phone, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
And you make a great fucking 90-minute movie
That's impressive.
that's intense as fuck, where it's just a guy in a box with a lighter. A whole movie, like
That makes sense why they lost him though. I didn't know it was overseas. It's not going to be as like easy here to like pinpoint stuff and like.
because he's in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
But
and you still got to be careful not to just be out there like roaming the streets because they blow your dumb ass up.
and then why did we start talking about this? One location, the train.
He actually passed out a couple of times, like while shooting, like while he was in the coffin.
Because of that oxygen deprivation.
What the fuck? So he really
And he
was
had to,
like buried.
breathe, like he was like hyperventilating.
No, I think he was just in a box.
Yeah, between takes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's
And then
hardcore shit.
He was burning his fingers. Like
I fucking bet. I was thinking about that the entire movie. I was like, my hand. I'd be like, ugh. But then he set in the movie sets it down and lets it.
Did they put holes in there? Did they bury like a pipe in there for him to stay alive?
No.
Like an air hole?
I think they just buried him.
They
like
just
in,
buried
in
him.
a fucking box.
Oh, I googled that. They was like you would die after like 3 hours. Because your oxygen,
outside?
your oxygen would go away.
You just
So they were like they were like it's actually not. They're like it's terrible to die being buried alive, but you won't. They were like you won't know that you died because you'll just suffocate from oxygen deprivation.
Mm-hmm. At that point, bro, I'll just fall asleep.
Yeah,
and just
dude.
die in my sleep.
Dude,
Man.
I was like, I would just start hopping, like trying to like just suck the oxygen up as fast as I could.
yeah.
that way you just pass out and
Just
don't
pass
wake up.
out. Don't know that I died, boy. I'm already buried. I'm already here.
But yeah, one location is fucking tough.
Yeah.
But that's what a lot of like student films are.
Mm-hmm.
Is like just one or
Pretty
two
much.
locations, and
Just talking
Yeah.
about Reservoir Dogs.
yeah,
Mm.
a
That's
lot
a
of
one
first
location
movies
film.
are one location.
Now,
Yeah.
one location, that just means it's shot in the same exact spot the whole time. Not
Yeah.
like Parasite where it's like we're in the same house. Is that one location also in Parasite?
I mean, technically, but there's multiple. They have like multiple.
Like the
Locations,
backyard, the
yeah.
basement, the fucking. Yeah, they go through the whole house.
Well, no, like that's one location because they built the house for the movie.
Oh, that's right. So one location doesn't mean like one shot in one central like
Not
room
like
or
one
nothing.
room.
Yeah,
No, like one location is like one building basically.
But then you have like Italian Job would be like that's a multiple location. Like you're driving across the country.
Yeah.
Doing all that. Okay.
And then because like Reservoir Dogs is like 90% in the warehouse.
Yeah, it's all in that
More like
warehouse.
Saw is one location.
Yeah, Saw too.
See, because then when you say Saw, I keep like Reservoir Dogs. I keep thinking like one room. It's like you only ever see them in that one
warehouse
or room.
Well,
or
like
whatever.
Saw, there's also scenes, you know.
Yeah, it does change.
Outside, there's the detectives looking for the other.
Yes, that's right. Okay, you're right.
You know what I mean?
And plus,
But-
like the victims are in like different rooms and shit. Like they have different.
Yeah,
like,
and the
torture.
and even
shit.
in Reservoir Dogs, there's parts, you know, the flashbacks.
Yeah.
When they're on the street.
Yeah, there's the opening scene in the diner, and there's, you know, I can't think of any other scenes right now. There's a part in the bathroom.
And then when they rob the bank.
They rob the
right?
bank, or it's like after the bank when they're running away.
Yeah.
Which is smart. Like you can't afford to shoot a bank robbery; just shoot after it.
Yeah.
Before and after, just don't show the robbery.
Panic Room was like that too.
Yeah, Panic Room is one of those 127 hours.
Yeah, 127 hours is a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm trying to think of my favorite
That
one
one
location,
intense.
the lighthouse.
Yeah,
probably-
Lighthouse.
The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just one high school.
they're in that library.
This is the end. No, they go outside.
No.
Did they go to the?
No, they go to
the-
fucking Carl's Jr.
Yeah, they go to Carl Jr.
They start out at the
house.
airport.
They go to that house next door.
They start out at the airport. They go to the store in the middle of the party. So there's like multiple, but like the whole second and third act is in one house.
Yeah.
So I guess pretty much that is one location for the most part. But but that's not like a cheap.
No.
Like they had a choice to make it one location.
Is one location usually closer to low budget or?
Yeah. Or they're just like cheaper to make. But like obviously with This Is the End, they had like CGI. They had
you have the fucking literally every famous person from that time frame of like 2010.
Yeah.
It was everybody
they had like
in that
prime.
movie.
They had like prime Kevin Hart.
Just to show up for like
For like
3
5 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes. And he dies, doesn't he?
He dies.
Yeah.
Everybody dies. You're like, oh, you just
they got
everybody
Aziz
in.
Ansari. They
Yeah.
got Riri.
They got Rihanna.
Yeah, they had
Dude.
Rihanna.
Emma Watson.
Emma Watson.
That was
That's
funny.
right.
They had the whole super bad cat. They had everybody.
They had Michael Cera show up.
Yeah, Michael Cera.
McLovin showed up.
Yeah, was he? Yeah, McLovin was at the party.
Remember
yeah.
they were standing there on the edge of the pool. He like blew coke in his
Yeah,
face.
he just the coke in his face.
But yeah, there's a lot, and it's like Rear Window, like the Hitchcock movie. Clerks.
Yes.
And
One of my
Clerks was like
favorites.
the essential, like low budget. Like literally, Kevin Smith wanted to shoot in color, but black and white was cheaper. So he's like, let's shoot in black and white. And then
really worked
The
too.
One I Love.
Fucking
they have
worked.
listed
Good movie.
The One I Love. Which one is that one?
with Mark Duplass and Elizabeth Moss.
No idea.
Oh, are you talking about the one when they're in that house? Is that the picture where they're both of there?
Yeah.
That movie is nuts. Well, you talking about some weird shit? That shit is weird. That's another
on
movie you'll
HBO.
never guess.
Oh, the one we were
ending.
just Get
What's the
Out.
name again?
Get Out.
The One
Get
I
Out.
Love.
Get Out is one location, one house.
Because it's like
Yeah.
90. Yeah. They're driving. That's all you ever see.
Yeah, they drive. They're in the apartment and then they're driving.
It's always like taking place in the house or like the backyard when they have that like weird party.
Weird. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
one.
that was a good one.
I just thought of one.
The auction scene, boy. That shit just popped into my head. That auction scene.
Yeah,
was
where
like,
you think it's bingo, but then it keeps panning out, and then you see the picture of him, and you're like, "What the fuck,
like-
bro?"
You're like, that's probably the most racist scene I've ever seen. Like the
Honestly.
past like 30 years. It's like the most racist thing I've
Yeah.
ever seen. Auctioning a modern black person is like the wildest
That's crazy.
thing. You're wild for that, Jordan Peele.
And Alien is one location.
Oh yeah.
Basically.
Oh yeah.
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one location.
That's
a good
It's a
one
game
location.
changer.
Would Life of Pi be one location?
I don't give a fuck about Life.
We said everybody just were like, how dare you bring that up?
No, because didn't we watch Life of Pi together and we like turned that shit off?
Yeah, I didn't like it that much.
No,
to be honest.
Didn't it win awards?
Yeah, it did. It just like didn't interest me.
Because we watched it. I literally remember we were watching it when we were like 12 years old or some shit like that, and then the part where the whale goes over the boat or some shit. We were like, let's turn this shit off.
He's on the boat with a tiger, right?
Yeah. We were like, this is bullshit, bro. Like, we turned it off, bro.
Tiger would have ate the shit out of you.
Like, Tiger does not give a fuck about you,
He would
bro.
have ate the shit out of you.
That too, yeah. That tiger would have fucked him up.
I'm hungry.
That tiger would have got hungry and fucked him
It
up.
would have got hungry and ate you.
What was the budget for Paranormal Activity? Was it like $10,000 or some shit? It was cheap as fuck.
I think we looked at. I think it was 20. I think it was 20 grand.
It was cheap as fuck.
Budget was 28 million.
No, that's how much it made.
Yeah.
What was the budget?
It says budget.
That's not the budget, babe. We looked that up before.
The Exorcist, that was one location.
Dude, fucking Dog Day Afternoon.
That's one location.
Dude.
Yeah, that's one
I was
location.
About to say, I was like, I know it's 15. Yeah,
That's
15,
a good one
000.
location too.
15,000.
Dog Day Afternoon.
No,
Yeah,
it's
Dog Day Afternoon.
230,000 because production was 15 grand, but post was 200.
Yeah, marketing and yeah, I'm sure.
But 215,000 for marketing and editing is like nothing.
Well, like spending $15,000 on the movie on production, but then having because you gotta admit those things had commercials and billboards.
Yeah,
and,
it did.
And so like you gotta to get that out there on like mainstream TV. That's expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
But if you only spend 200 grand on. It was a pretty big fucking deal when that movie came out.
Yeah, I remember everyone was like,
because it was
gotta see that movie.
Yeah, because that came out now, that would not work. Because
Blair Witch was like that too.
Blair Witch was cheap. That
You
was
need $1 million right now for fucking marketing.
Blair Witch was a student film.
Yeah, it said
Yeah.
original budget 35 to 60,000, but it wasn't until like final cost, like post production, it was like 200,000.
Yeah.
200 grand out the door for a movie is.
It's still good.
Very good.
Because
But then they like actually.
but I'm saying Paranormal Activity and Blair Witch Project wouldn't work now because we have the internet. Because like when you watch Paranormal Activity, you thought that shit was real. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, it looked
Witch
real
too.
as fuck.
You thought Blair Witch because that started. If there was no Blair Witch, there would be no Paranormal Activity.
That's true. That's true.
Because
Very
that's
true.
found footage horror. Blair Witch created that. So like everyone thought Blair Witch Project was real because even in the marketing they created like a website of like the real people and shit like that. But like now you go on the internet and be like, oh, that shit was fake.
That shit was genius when Blair Witch came out. Cause I think that's the scariest part is that text at the beginning of those movies, like these people, blah blah blah. This is their footage that we. So you're like, oh, these people died. Like there's no happy ending to this.
Yeah,
story.
it makes you think that is the real footage.
Yeah, because it proves that you could
did.
just do that. You could just say anything was based on a true story.
Yeah.
Like the Coen brothers did it, which was hilarious. They did it for Fargo. Like in the beginning of Fargo, it says based on a true story, but then in Fargo, nothing happens. You're just like, what the fuck? Like it's just regular ass people.
Yeah, you go looking it up. You're like, oh,
it's not even like nothing even happened.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't even that big of a story. It was just funny that at the beginning of the movie they said based on a true story or real events or some shit like that. And like while you're watching the movie, it's like what event? Like a dead body? Like it was funny.
I think that's what scared people with Paranormal Activity. The same thing with
Texas Chainsaw.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It was found footage. And you're like, this
and
is
The Conjuring.
when they remade Texas Chainsaw in
like 2003.
They made
Yes.
it. They remade it a lot.
Yeah.
They remade it this year.
I think the
The
03
Netflix
one,
movie.
I
I
think
saw
the
that
03 one was the one everybody was like, oh, this
That was
remake
like the
is like, like this is the good remake. Like this doesn't suck.
That's when it
ass.
was like Leatherface.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it was named Leatherface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because
Yeah.
the rest of them are like with his family and shit, right? Like it's about like his relatives and all those weirdos and shit. Yeah, I think I watched two. I was like, this is garbage. The first one terrified me. I would like,
Oh yeah.
run home if I was playing outside. I'd be like, this nigga's still alive, bro. They tell you it's those things at the end. Never caught Leatherface.
Yeah.
Never found the people. Never found from Paranormal Activity. Never found the girl when she left the house. Like you're like, that's terrifying.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
this
that
is
scares you
a
as a
different
kid.
thing, but I remember I was at one of my friend's house, and their family was watching Zodiac. I was young too, and I was like, you know, they I don't know if they knew it was based on a true story. I think they were just watching it, but I was like, you know, they like never found the Zodiac killer, and they were like, well, thanks a lot. Like I ruined the movie for them, but I don't think they knew that it was like based on a true story. But I was like, you know, they never like found it, like ever identified, and they were like, well. But Zodiac's a great movie.
Yeah.
But
like,
it's
I
like
didn't spoil shit in a true life story, dude. Too bad you don't know how to read.
But yeah, one location, Paranormal Activity. That was the first movie that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, that movie scared the fuck out of me when it first came out.
I couldn't sleep that night.
Yeah.
I was a grown man. I was scared.
I could not sleep last night. I remember it was me, my brother, and my parents watched Paranormal Activity. Couldn't sleep. Because at Blockbuster, my dad rented Paranormal Activity and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And I couldn't sleep because I was scared to death that my mom would wake up and just stand in front of my bed. I was scared to death, bro. Scared to death. And so I just couldn't sleep. And then my dad was asleep on the couch. And so I just like silently put in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And I was just watching it as a little kid. And
let me watch something that's going to make me laugh. That's what I always say.
And then that was the first time I ever saw Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And that Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back holds a dear place in my heart.
Saved you.
It saved me from Paranormal Activity because I'll always remember Jay and Silent Bob for that. For saving me from Paranormal Activity because that shit was scary.
I think what always got me was the scene where like she gets pulled out of bed and she's like getting dragged across the floor. That scared the fuck out of me. I was like I'd be going to sleep and like, what if I just get pulled out of bed right now?
You feel something like you would sleep and you'd be like, oh, what the fuck was that?
That probably revamped
it makes
the
you
fear.
like looking around your room and
that
shit.
revamped the fear of like people not letting their foot
being
over the edge of the bed.
Nope,
yeah, definitely.
Nope,
and you got to be completely under the covers.
You got to be under the covers on the bed. Like you can't let nothing be.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah,
feet has to be tucked in.
When she got dragged, that was because then she did the scream when she screamed his name. I was like, damn, you got bro.
Seriously.
She trapped you. Set up that trap. What was his name? Jacob? William?
No, it was something weird. I feel like
she was like, whatever his name was.
Name.
I know it started with like a J.
Micah.
Yeah.
Micah.
Yeah.
Micah. She screamed like that, but her voice changed. The little subtle things they did.
Because also all the subtle point was that all the actors, like, that's their real name. The first name is their real name. So it's like when you look up the movie and you see the actors, it's their real
name. So it makes it 10 times easier for them to talk to each other. Hey, Micah,
But even like Google in 2009, all you could do was like Google the movie or some shit like that. And if you see his real name's Micah, you're like, oh shit, and
it makes you think it's real.
Yeah, they're not popular actors at all.
No.
So it's like, oh shit, these people, we don't know who these people are.
Nope.
So it's like, that's why getting first time actors is a big fucking deal because if you know how to direct, you fucking get Paranormal Activity.
Good on them for doing such a great performance. Those guys really did a great performance.
And I remember thinking like that movie was real.
Yeah.
At first, when I was a little kid, I was like, "Fuck!" Like
this shit's
real.
That
Like,
shit
this is
was
actually
real.
raw footage.
Yes.
Like The Ring, when you like put the tape, you're like, I shouldn't have been watching this like at all.
Yeah.
Because this shit's real.
Didn't they have a part in the Ring VHS where it was the part? It was like the scene from the thing that they were watching on TV.
It's
so
like
I think,
at the end.
if you left it on, that
Like
would
at the
pop
end of the
up.
credits or some shit.
You'd be like,
The static and then
let you be asleep, and you're like, you fell asleep with the movie on. You're like, oh hell no.
Birds don't sleep.
Hell nah.
After that, fucking burn it.
That's how it was with.
Just throw the fucking thing away.
Well, you were scared?
Because it's like in that desert town.
Yes.
that stuff.
Like Blair Witch for me, they were like, this is in Maryland. You're like, oh. That's down the street, buddy. And fucking The Exorcist. That was in Georgetown. So that was like 30 minutes down the street. I don't fuck with none of that shit.
That's scary as fuck.
Terrifying.
And you had the DC sniper, like in real life. Like, you're terrified, bro.
Then people be wondering why I'm paranoid. Huh? You be wondering why I'm paranoid. 9/11? Come on, dog.
The sniper.
I'm waiting for that movie to come out.
The DC Sniper movie.
I think they tried once.
I think they tried to make something modeled after it.
I think it was like a straight to TV movie.
Yeah.
But it's still too like you gotta wait another 5-10 years.
Yeah, you gotta wait for the right. Yeah, but
There's gonna be a January 6th movie probably.
they should make a comedy about that.
yeah, that'd be hilarious.
That would
January
be
6th.
Oh, yeah.
Capitol.
I'm about to say
No,
you were in America, so it was like whatever to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
It was
have
just
more
like
important
something
shit
to
going
look
on,
at, you
dude.
know, on the news or whatever.
You're like, all right, cool.
But
AHN.
next topic is I want to talk Predator.
Do it.
How I watched all the Predator movies. I need to let all this shit out. Yeah, where are we at first?
Hour.
Oh, perfect.
The first Predator was when Arnold goes to the dude who played Apollo Creed. He's like, Dylan.
Carl Weathers, you son of a bitch. And they fucking lock arms. That's
The meme of all
And he
memes.
shows the
it turned
fucking
into
biceps.
a meme where it's like the painting of the. I was literally about to ask my brother to paint a huge canvas of that
both their
shot
biceps just
of the
fucking
oiled up, just
up.
fucking.
Bro, that's like prime 80s right there, bro.
Yeah.
You just
Right?
gotta like fucking focus in on the.
Steroid.
like literally
Yeah.
Steroid.
a process shot of Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger
Just flexing the shit out of their biceps, just
it's
oiled
like
up.
oiled, bro. It's like there's lighting on it. It's
and it pauses for like a good like
yeah.
2
There's
seconds.
like it's a 2 or 3 second shot.
yeah,
Beautiful.
there's just
That is- yeah.
biceps.
It's a and then cut. It's
That's all we
fucking.
needed.
And
It's-
every man was like, I'm gonna go hit the gym now.
And then you hear about like behind the scenes how like everyone like Jesse Ventura and everyone was like we're like measuring arms through production.
That's
Like
fucking
whose arms
awesome.
are bigger.
Just
Yeah,
fucking doing coke.
They're just fucking-
pumping iron. Just.
And dude, they were working out during production.
during the set. That's
It's
fucking awesome.
crazy.
That's
awesome.
Frown Carl Weathers too.
Yeah, Jesse the Body,
Mm-hmm.
fucking old painless.
Old Painless, the minigun. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, Predator is
That's a good movie.
It's fucking iconic, bro. But then there's not that many 80s like one-liners like as much as Arnold has. Like in like The Running Man, he has more like little one-liner jokes.
Yeah.
But in Predator, he has like the one. Remember where he throws the knife? He's like, "Stick
'em.
around."
Yeah, stick around.
and then
Yeah.
fucking walk. I'm like,
Stick around.
all right, dude. Dylan,
Come on, come and get me. You son
Kill
of a
me.
bitch, kill
I'm right
me.
here.
I'm right here. What the fuck you waiting for?
what are you waiting for? And then the when you hear
That's
the line,
good.
like the get to the chopper.
Yeah, he says that in Predator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All his like famous
All of his
punchlines.
famous, all of
were in
those
that
memes
movie.
from like 4 years ago. For some reason, Predator like just because the shot with him sitting up against a tree, that was a meme for the longest.
You one ugly
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah, the arm thing was definitely a meme
That's-
for the
Yeah.
longest.
You one ugly
Predator
motherfucker.
with no mask on was a meme for the
Yeah.
longest. When your girl wake up in the morning
With
and
no
then-
makeup,
That's the
yeah.
Predator.
And it has like and people make fun of like Predator dreads and
dreads,
shit
right,
like that.
Dreads, yeah.
And like when your dreads are all like stiff, they make fun
like
of.
the Predator.
But yeah, Predator is fucking iconic. And I also watched
Super iconic.
Predator 2
Now what is 2?
with starring Danny Glover.
Yes,
And he's in the city.
He's in the
Yeah,
LA.
I've seen that one.
That is.
I've seen that one.
That one is great. It gets
is good.
shit. It gets shit on so much.
It does.
Yeah.
The scene where he for the fucking
it's
alien
gruesome.
makes his goo and he's like. Does the fucking roar
Yeah.
and the grandma's out in the living room was like, what the fuck was that?
And-
Like, what the fuck?
He skins people in the second
Yes.
one.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think he does that
Yes.
in the first one.
No, he does in the first one. Yeah,
Who does he skin?
the people when they get there.
Oh, like the indigenous people.
Yeah, when
The
they
natives.
get there in Cambodia, the first people they see
Yeah.
are
The
hung
skinned
upside
people.
down. The iconic hung upside down shot.
Yeah.
They're skinned. I don't think he skins anybody else though.
No,
But in the second one,
he does it.
dude,
more.
it's sick because they got like the Jamaican voodoo gang
Yeah.
and like the Mexican gang. It's like completely stereotypical. Probably problematic.
It's in New York City, right?
in LA.
Oh, it's in L.A.
And it's
I knew
like
it was in one of
hot
those
as
big
shit.
cities.
Which is like in all Predator movies, it has to be hot because that's
Yeah.
like
You
when
gotta
they
sweat.
that's when they come out. Is like Predator it comes out like on the hottest days or the hottest seasons. And
Did you learn that from Prey?
that was in the first one. She said the girl says it, the refugee or whatever.
Yeah.
And the Predator. I watched Predator 2, which was probably out of all of the Predator movies, Predator 2 is probably my favorite. Like
I'd say Predator 1 for me.
Predator 1 is
iconic,
great.
Bro.
It's great.
Yeah.
But like, if you want some variety, like you want to switch up, like Predator is Predator. I think that's standalone. That's like having a favorite Tarantino movie. Like Pulp Fiction is Pulp Fiction, but like you have to like Django and you have to like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and shit, or Kill Bill.
True.
But like Pulp Fiction is obviously the greatest. Like it's obviously the best movie. But like to have your favorite.
Yeah,
like everybody loves Pulp Fiction.
That's
there will be generations after us who be like, "That's one of the greatest movies I've ever seen."
That movie will never get old.
Ever.
Everyone will always love that.
It's
movie.
timeless.
Yeah,
it's
it really is a
perfect
timeless
movie.
Yeah.
It won an Oscar for best original screenplay, and Tarantino's second movie. It's great.
That's really good, bro. For second movie.
Travolta again.
Revived Travolta. But yeah, so Predator 2 was great. I watched Predators with the one with Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
Where they're like on a different planet.
They're on their planet.
Yeah, they get sent to their planet. And
well, there's like multiple.
Yeah.
Hence Predators.
I remember that one, especially because there's like the samurai dude. And he actually
the Yakuza.
The Yakuza guy, and he fights the Predator and he like almost kills him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he was going toe to toe.
Yeah, he was going toe to toe with the Predator.
I think they both die.
They kill each other.
Yeah, they both kill each other. The fucking
Harakiri.
Yeah, when they're running at each other.
Yeah,
I was like, that was one of my favorite scenes in that movie.
Yeah, that was my favorite scene.
I like the spin of bringing criminals. They're like these are like international criminals.
Yeah, it was like different.
Dealer, fucking the Russian guy with the fucking minigun.
He was supposed to be the Ventura, like the old Painless and shit like that.
And Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo's in it. The cartel
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And then fucking Tobey Maguire. Not Tobey Maguire. Topher Grace.
He was like the scientist.
Yes, but then he ended up being like, he wasn't a scientist, remember? He was like, I'm not a doctor. He was like, I'm a fucking serial killer. Because he was just like, he poked him with the poison. It was like, deuces. This is how I kill people. I hit him with a paralytic.
Yeah, but they did have like a bunch of different characters. And I liked it, but I just...
Lawrence Fishburne. Remember Lawrence Fishburne? Because he never made it off the planet.
That's right. He was.
Yeah, he was a cuckoo bird.
He was all crazy.
He was. I've been here for 30 years.
Some fucking Apocalypse Now shit.
Yeah, it was like some Apocalypse Now type shit.
But and then I watched The Predator. Have you guys seen The Predator? It came out in like 2018. It's one of the newer ones.
What was that one about? Is that the one with the? That wasn't the nuclear bomb. That was Alien versus Predator.
Is that where he's huge?
Yeah, they're fucking big.
They're like massive.
Is that the one where they fight each other? No, that's Predator.
That's Alien versus Predator.
No,
right?
I'm talking about the one with the two Predator tribes. That's
Predators.
That's Predators where
they're fighting each other.
Yeah, they're like two tribes of Predators.
Yeah, and
the Predator is with Olivia Munn and Michael Key.
Yeah. Where it's basically a remake of the...
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Keegan-Michael Key was in that one. It was basically like a remake of
the original, the first one.
Yeah. I
don't think I've seen it.
I saw it and I was like, it's good.
Yeah. I never seen it before. And I watched it and I was like, this isn't that good. But then a few days later, I was like, wait, that might actually be kind of good. So I'll have to like rewatch it. I bought it for $5 on iTunes or whatever.
Yeah.
It was $5. I was like, fuck it, I'll just buy it. But now I own it, so I guess I could watch it whenever. But yeah, it's all right. But
Where does Predators fall in AVP? Since we talked about Alien too, that's actually ironic that we talked about Aliens too. Because I like the AVP like lore at least, like the idea that they created these things to hunt them, and then it was like a rodent that got out of control. Even all the Prometheus stuff made all that stuff.
Yeah, with the engineers.
Yeah, it made everything make sense. You're like, oh, but the engineers exactly.
The engineers is actually because Ridley Scott made Alien and Blade Runner. You can see one of the engineers in Blade Runner 2049.
Shut the fuck up.
Is it like a Easter egg?
Like in
so they're supposed to be like same universe type shit?
Yeah.
So it's fucking awesome.
Like it went in the part where he goes looking for the files in the library, and when he's walking down the staircase, there's those glass cases, and one of those glass cases is a engineer.
Damn.
It's go back and watch Blade Runner 2049.
Got to.
There was a long like fight in my head to which I at a certain point I thought Blade Runner 2049 was better than the original.
You did say that on this podcast.
Yeah, because I just love it. I love Blade Runner 2049, but like the original has like they're just different movies. That's the only thing is like you can't really compare them. But anyways, yeah.
Does Prey make Requiem, Alien versus Predators, Requiem make more
I never
sense?
seen Requiem.
The one with Sanaa Lathan?
And I
think I saw that one.
I never seen AVP Requiem, and I've never seen Alien Covenant. Those are the only ones I have.
Covenant was good.
I haven't seen. I've heard it was good.
It was a good one.
What was Covenant?
That was
Was
when
It came out
clone?
after Prometheus.
Yeah,
Is that when Sigourney Weaver was the clone?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alien Covenant was one I haven't seen. I need to watch that one.
Actually, I think I might be thinking of Prometheus.
No.
No. That was Michael Fassbender was the robot.
Mm-hmm. He was an android.
Yeah.
And he pulled his head off.
Yeah,
when
that's
he saw
right.
him. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but Alien versus Predator, not that good of a movie, but it's cool. It's like a cool concept of like the crossover.
Yeah,
It was
it's a super cool crossover.
And then
I
when
liked
they
it.
do the combo, the Alien Predator combo, because the alien impregnates the Predator.
Oh,
So when he
yeah.
fucking when the thing bursts out, it has the
Predator.
Oh, that's right. You
fucking-
never saw Requiem. That's the end of it. Is that they make a alien Predator hybrid.
Mhm.
It's like
I'll have to watch the two Alien versus Predator
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, but the thing comes out and it's like, And I think that's what the movie with what's the one where they nuked the whole city? That was Alien versus Predator.
The first one.
How many alien? They made two.
They
Two
made
of them.
3, I think.
I thought it was 2.
There was one I know where they were like, we have to nuke the whole city because it got overrun by the aliens.
by
it
the
was
aliens.
impregnating everybody.
Yeah.
And then I think the alien that it was the Predator alien hybrid that was doing it. So it was stronger than Predators. It was like fucking these niggas up. Like
Damn.
this.
Yeah.
I'll have to rewatch
Get off
those
of me.
ones. That's and Prometheus and
The whole, what would that
Covenant.
be called? That would you call it like a universe thing?
yeah, like an AVP universe,
Yeah.
AVP verse.
APP verse.
But yeah, where are we at now?
Hour 17. It is only 2 of them.
Yeah. But I think we should end it right now. We should just wrap it up.
Yeah. Oh, they released, for anybody listening, they released a Predator watch list since Prey came out. They put out a list of
all like in
of the-
order.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prey it's cool. I have a lot of like nitpicks for it, but there's nothing bad about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely, if like me, if like you're a fan of the franchise,
Yeah.
you're gonna fuck with Prey. It's pretty sick, and it's like the way the Predator looks is like different than
Yeah, I think that's the one that I'm thinking about, where like they switch up his look.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he's bigger, right? I know I keep thinking that he's bigger. That they made
A
him
lot of
huge.
the newer one in the newer movies are bigger, way bigger.
Yeah, they're like
Because
10
even in the
foot,
first one,
8
he's
foot.
big.
Yeah,
But I think as the movies go on, they're just like taller.
yeah.
But
I'll check it out.
yeah, Prey just came out. It's sick, and like the whole Comanche part of it is pretty fucking. It's crazy, but it's like I don't know. My nitpicks are like very just like, why did you have to do it this way? You should have just done it. I'll let you guys watch it, and then we'll talk about it like another time. You should probably come back next week
I'm down.
so we could just talk about more shit.
Yeah.
And
It's alien.
we gotta. Should we announce our draft idea? Just say it. I'm gonna say it. Fuck it. So I was talking to Menda, on the way to pick up Tatiana, which you should be a part of. You want to come through next week?
Yeah, I'm down.
We have an idea for an episode. It's not my original idea. I'm stealing it from like 3 other podcasts because I've seen like 3 other shows do it. And only one I've seen like do it that's like entertaining, but I think we obviously will like just make it funny. because we're not like fucking nerds. Like we're not fucking dorks, you know what I mean? I think
I wholeheartedly agree.
Like I think this is a cool. Wouldn't you say you're like an audience member?
Mm-hmm. This is a cool fucking podcast.
But it's also about movies. So it's like, have you seen Nope?
Nope. No.
I was like,
It's like, yeah.
everybody was like, was that
did
an
you
answer? Was that an answer? I wonder did he do that on purpose? Like, have you seen Nope?
Nope.
Nah, I haven't. Though.
You should watch it. And then
It's new, right?
Yeah, it came out 2 weeks ago.
Last week.
Recently.
Yeah.
Very recent.
I was gonna see it.
Yeah, 22nd.
I was gonna see it with my brother, but I just never went.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good, dude.
Very, very original.
That's a P film, right? Appeal.
Yeah.
You made that film. Yeah.
And but yeah, so my idea was not my idea, but the idea was a movie draft, which is basically, I think we're all gonna fuck with this, is we pick 1 year. Say me and Mender were saying like 2004 or like 2012 or some shit. Pick 2012, and the four of us, I guess, we'll do a random selection, random order, and do like a snake order. And so like say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and basically draft movies from that year. You know what I mean?
Great idea.
That's a really good idea.
Draft movies from that year, but also the objective is we're gonna have categories that you have to fill in with the type of movie. So it's not just like your favorite. So you're gonna be drafting the categories where unofficial categories are Oscar winner. Of any category. It doesn't have to be Best Picture. It could have been, or Oscar nominee.
Yeah, nominee.
Nice.
Oscar,
that makes it even.
Yeah, Oscar nominee. It could have been nominated for Best Wardrobe, Best Costume, Best Sound, or Best Picture. It could have been nominated. Anything. Or if a supporting actress was nominated, then the movie is in. So Oscar nominee, horror/comedy, and then drama, blockbuster. So if it made over $100 million, which we'll do, I'm sure $100 million is a safe, even for 2004.
Yeah, I'm about to say not a lot of movies actually don't make that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But $100 million, fuck it, $100 million, and then while I said like wild card, like whatever movie you want. So like those 5 categories. So we're all gonna draft 5 movies each.
5.
And then it'll be cool because like when we pick a movie, we all get to talk about it, whatever. And that's 20 movies through the 4 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And having like a 4-minute conversation about 20 movies, that's a whole podcast.
Yeah, literally.
So, and who knows where else we'll go with the conversation. So
are we just like, we're about to do it right now?
No.
All right.
No.
I was ready.
No, yeah. So
All right,
I was going to ask, what year would you be down? Is there a year of movies you guys want to like select?
What was a year that sucked for movies? That would make it harder.
So
dude, anything between 2002, anything post.
I was just thinking that.
So we're all gonna do the same year?
Yeah. All
years?
1 year.
Oh, okay.
And then picking a movie from there.
Okay.
And then like 2008 sucked dick, I feel like.
I don't know about that.
It's like any year that music
I was about to say Watchmen came out in 2000.
They would flip flop.
2009.
If
That's
it was
2009.
sucky music, then there would be like good movies. Like 07 for
because you know what it was is every 2002, 2003, maybe 2004 movie sucks, and then every like 2007, 2008, 2009 movie sucks because one is post 9/11 and the other is the recession. So like all these movies, they weren't making good movies because there was no like everyone was scared to fly or they had no money.
Because the stock market crashed.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should pick a year and then I was thinking like 2012 because we were like all very cognizant. Or 2011?
2011 or 12? Yeah, you're right. One of those 2 years.
Let me look at. I'm gonna look at years.
I think 2012 sucked. I think 2012 had some trash ass movies.
Wait, was that not
2012
Avengers?
Yeah, 2012 was Avengers, the very first one.
That's probably why I thought every other movie sucked.
2011 was
so the most popular movies from 2012. Oh fuck, dude! Django, Avengers, Dark Knight Rises, The Hobbit.
Oh yeah.
I was just in the house because I had a brand new baby. That's what it was.
Oh, dude, Prometheus came out. Ted,
Yeah.
Project X.
Oh shit. Oh, shit. Me and Amanda was like, take this baby away from me. I want to go party like Project X. Like, take this baby.
But that was 2012. I think 2014 was a great fucking year for movies. It was great. So I think that would make it easier, but I think 2012 might be better. But 2014, there's Interstellar, Grand Budapest Hotel, Whiplash, Gone Girl, Nightcrawler, Captain America, Winter Soldier, John Wick, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Those are heaters, bro.
Not John Wick. Not the man who brought
John
back
Wick,
action
Interstellar.
movies. He knew. He brought that shit back.
American Sniper, Fury, Godzilla, The Interview,
Go, bro.
Chef, Creep,
Chef?
The Equalizer, Tusk, The Raid 2, the most violent. 2014 was a fucking year.
You know what? Let's fucking do 2014. 2014.
Not fucking Tusk, bro. I watched that movie because of this podcast, and that shit changed my life.
Tusk is crazy. That
One
was
of the wildest
I think that's
movies.
the first A24 movie I've ever seen.
It was.
Was it? I can't think of it.
I think that was definitely.
I remember
mine.
looking forward to Tusk for years because of Kevin Smith. Because I was a big fan of Comic Book Men. Did you watch Comic Book Men? The Kevin Smith show?
No, I didn't.
About the comic book
The
story he
comic
owns?
book, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch it?
No, but
Comic
I
Book
remember
Men?
it.
I remember it,
Super
yeah.
popular.
It was, and it was just basically people coming in with all these collectibles. But
Yeah.
I don't think it was on the show. I think it was just like because I knew of Kevin Smith. He always like talked about Tusk and the new movie was coming out. So I was looking forward to Tusk for years. And then A24 became a thing. And then, bought the movie from Kevin Smith. It was, but yeah, 2014.
2014?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do 2014.
Start out with the banger. So next week, we'll expect Josh again. And then I'll send you guys the categories you have to fill in. So 2014 movies all week. Because the reason why we're doing this is because there's no fucking movies coming out for the next like 2 months or like month and a half. There's like like movies enough to like come out, like make an episode about them. So it's like, but until we get to like Oscar season, which is like late October, November, and December.
Which is when everything is coming out.
Yeah.
Wakanda.
Wakanda Forever,
Wakanda
yeah.
Forever.
It's coming out. That's the only thing I can remember.
Probably a Marvel movie or Wakanda, but isn't there another? Or no, Quantumania is coming out at the beginning of next year.
Yeah.
Is that a movie or a series?
Movie. Yeah, it's coming out in March, I want to say.
Quantumania.
Yeah, but
gonna be
2014 movie draft,
Mhm.
and we'll see how that shit goes. I'm pretty excited for it. I think that's gonna be a good episode. It'll be fun, just to try to see, and then also fan engagement.
Yeah.
So like the fans will be able to vote for who won the draft, who had the best
Mhm.
5 movies.
And they can insert their own draft picks.
Yeah.
2014
yeah.
people.
2014. What?
Just go on HBO
And then
Max or
we'll
whatever.
be able to talk about where we were all at in 2014, shit like that. So yeah, next week. That's None of This Really Matters.
Because
episode
none of this really
71.
matters.
Peace out.